There we are. Hello, welcome to Follow Everton. I'm here today, this Friday afternoon. It's the 1st of October. I'm joined with one and only Basil, who's back sponsoring Coca-Cola for the video. David, how are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. How are you?
Not bad at all. Now, it's not going to be a long video, but I wanted to get your thoughts ahead of the Man United game. You've managed to bag yourself a ticket for tomorrow's match,
Yeah.
and myself included. So we're going to be tracking down. I think we should leave. Hold them up a bit higher. Cover the where we're sitting.
We're sitting in different places, but
There you go. We are going the game. This is authentic channel. Two Evertonians. We're going the match. So it's a privilege to go, really, isn't it? Because I know it's difficult to get Everton tickets for any away game. Of all the games to get a ticket to, though, going to Old Trafford against arguably the strongest squad in the league.
The last Premier League game I've been to was at Old Trafford, and we got beaten heavily.
Was that the 3-0 about 10 years ago when I was in hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think, David, I can tell you that was 12 years ago. It was 3-0.
I know. You just can't get a ticket, though, can you?
Well, to be fairness, David, you've not tried to get a ticket, but you've got one now because you saw me go to a couple of aways, and it's a good experience. You have to stand up the whole game. But yeah, it's exciting to get to go. And of all the games to go to, it is Man United. It's close geographically, but they're streets ahead of us on the pitch, you'd say, despite the similar points totals at the moment. You just look around that team and start in defence. Maguire is out, by the way, but he's a fantastic centre back. Varane, the goalkeeper's not bad. The fullbacks are good. But it's that midfield and those options up front, isn't it, where they really shine. Rashford, Sancho, Cavani, Ronaldo, Pogba, Martial, even the young lad Greenwood, and Bruno Fernandes. I don't know who's ringing me. This is where we have to do a 30-second, so I can just check this, and you continue answering that question.
The main danger for me is Bruno Fernandes. He's their main danger man, and Pogba, he's got 7 assists already when he played 5 games. So obviously their output is quite high at the moment. They got Ronaldo, scored 5 goals in all competitions since he's been back, so he's on form. So they're very dangerous. They are dangerous, and it's how we're going to negate their threat, as well as deal with all our injuries and problems. So, I don't know how we're going to set this one up because we're so few on players. Got a lot of injuries, haven't we? And it'll be interesting to see what Ryan picks as his team. But for me, Maguire being out is quite a positive for us because we've only got Rondon. Rondon, I'm not pinning any hope on Rondon doing much tomorrow. So, it's one less thing to worry about. Is Maguire, not just in terms of his defensive abilities, but heading in from set pieces like he did in the preseason game when we lost 4-0. So that's good. And Rafa Varane, I think he's still getting up to speed. No doubt he's a top player, but he's still getting up to speed with the game. And from what I read, he was at fault with.
I'm back. Sorry about that.
He was at fault, Rafa Varane, for one of the goals they conceded in the Champions League, which cost them the game. So, he's still getting up to speed. I'm just saying Maguire and Varane, but they've got threats all over the pitch, and we're so depleted. I was saying that I'd be interested to hear how you would approach this when, from what I've heard, Alex Iwobi looks like he's not going to be available for the game. So we were already looking very thin up front, and it looks like it's kids going to be involved tomorrow in some capacity.
Well, I think in a way it helps us if the kids are there playing, and you can kind of say, well, we're going to get battered here and just give them a run out. It kind of would deflect away from it a little bit and help us because you could say, well, we had the kids playing, so we couldn't expect anything, and we've got injuries. Rather than no kids playing and we're just playing a load of fringe players and we get battered, and people don't see it like that on the outside. They just see it as Everton have lost. And For me, I think this is a really difficult fixture, even with Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin fit. And we've lost Sigurdsson and James from last season, who were influential at Old Trafford. So you're talking about a completely different side, really, from the one that got a 3-3 draw at Old Trafford last season and played well, in fairness. I think Maguire is outstanding, and him being out helps us. But I struggle here to see how we can cause them a real threat. Perhaps Damari Gray and Townsend in 2v2 situations try and isolate and let Man United overcommit players,
Mm,
and just try and exploit them. I mean, Varane is quick. That's the issue. That there isn't a real weakness there. You just have to hope that Man United don't turn up on the day, and a very strong Everton, I should say, a very weak and depleted Everton side can put in a strong performance.
yeah, I'm just looking back at who played last year when we went to Old Trafford, and I know we had a sort of poor first half, or we weren't that poor, but we were unlucky to be, I think, in the
Yeah.
position we were. And we had Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin up front. We had James in behind. We had a midfield three: Davies, Gomez, Decore, Godfrey and Keane centre back, Dean left back, Holgate right back, and Olsen in goal.
It's
So
almost a balanced side in a way. But you look at what we're going to put out now, and judged on the fact that Awobi's injured mysteriously, Gomez is injured mysteriously. Okay, so we don't know why these injuries are happening. It's almost farcical, really. Richarlison and Calvert Lewin. Well, Richarlison played the rest of the Burnley game and then he's now injured. So explain that. And we didn't see Calvert Lewin go off, as far as I know. So they're getting injured in mysterious and acrimonious circumstances. And that infuriates me, to be honest. Um, I look at the options we have, and we only really have Rondon, Gray, and Townsend as the three available players. Maybe Gordon, but he's a bit lightweight and inexperienced. So for
mm,
me, based on the fact that Coleman, Pickford, Gomez, Calvert Lewin, Richarlison, I'm struggling to. There's that many of them.
don't forget Delph.
Oh, it he's never fit, so it's easier to say when he's fit. But he should have been sacked a long time ago. There isn't. We normally will sit here and say, "Well, I'll pick a team," but David, I'm struggling here to pick one because I think it kind of just picks itself.
But does it though? Do we keep the formation that we've been playing recently and shoehorn a kid or somebody else into a wrong
Well,
position,
for
or
me,
do
I
we
would probably play.
adjust?
Sorry, I'd probably play Lewis Dobbin. I'd probably just give him a go on the left
You
because
play
Gray's.
Dobbin, the 17
Well,
year old.
he's 18. Gray up front, and Tass Townsend on one side, and Dobbin on the left. Look, we're not going to
Dobbin's a
score.
striker
There's no
though, isn't
goal
he?
threat there. There's no physical threat there. So it's all going to be about stopping Man United, which is going to be really difficult because they're good in possession, they're good from set pieces, and they're strong defensively. Um, so I'm just thinking, I'm struggling because I've got a lot to say about this, Dave. Um, we'll talk about Man United in a minute, but in terms of that Everton side, I think you've got no option but to go with five at the back, which is Holgate right wing back, Ben Godfrey, Yerry Mina, Michael Keane, Luca Dean at left back. Begovic is in goal because Pickford's still out. It's just who's fit. It's
Is
Alan
Pickford
Decore
been
and
confirmed
Gubamich.
out?
Yeah. I think he's injured, isn't he?
He did
No,
get.
he might not be injured, but he
He
wasn't
might
in
be back.
training.
I
He
think he's
wasn't
back.
seen in training.
I think
But
he'll play.
it's 5-3-2. It could well be the five
Five's
three
not going to
two.
work with Holgate a right wing back.
Okay. Okay. So let's think what's Rafa going to
You
do.
may
He's
as well
going to play
put
Rondon.
Dean. You may as well put Dean at left mid then, and play the flat back centre back four.
Okay. He's going to play Rondon. He's going to play Rondon, and he's going to
Yeah.
play Gray, and he's going to play Townsend. And then I think he'll go for Decore as sort of like the number 10, and then Gabamin and Alan.
Well, I was
Um,
thinking this. Maybe he's going to boost up the midfield because that's usually where the game's lost when we've played United. They've got so much power in there, and we
well, we're
don't play.
playing for set pieces and a counter attack, aren't we?
If you play for set pieces, you want to stick more height in there. You want to get three centre backs in your back line. You got no
But I think
Richarlison
that
and Calvert
is a
Lewin.
big team. I think that's a good. I think that's a good enough team to shut up shop there. I mean,
Shut
if
up
Jean,
shop though. We haven't been able to shut up shop all season. We played Leeds, we conceded two soft goals. We played Villa, we capitulated and conceded three goals. We did well at
I
Brighton.
know. I agree with you, but without sounding too negative, David, I'm putting them in there because I think they'll give us the best chance of getting a result. What
Yeah.
you say there, Decore with a little bit more license to go forward in the three, and then Godfrey stays at right back. But the problem is, Rafa knows he's not getting anything here. You know, he's got to try and motivate the players, but he's got Ben Godfrey at right back. He's got two slow centre backs. He's got no playmaker in the middle, and he's got no options up front. So, and for all we know, someone else could be injured because he keeps things very quiet. So
Mm.
I just think I would probably go with the 4-3-2-1 formation with Gray and Townsend supporting Rondon, who's shite by the way, and those three in midfield, and just get at Man United and hackle them and disturb them and stop them playing the football, stop them finding Ronaldo. Ronaldo's not the player he was, David. He's
So
not.
are you
He's
playing
not.
Gbamin?
Yeah, I have no choice.
But he hasn't played a Premier League game, has he?
Well, if he's not going to do it now, he never will. Look, he's a £25 million player. He's replaced Idrissa Gueye, who's going and playing alongside Messi, Mbappe, and Neymar at PSG, and outstanding. So we replaced an outstanding world-class defensive midfielder with Jean-Philippe Gbamin, who's not played for 2 years. So we've had a stinker there. And you'd have thought that they would have looked and saw Idrissa's level and thought maybe Gbamin is that level and could reach that level. So go and chuck him in. If he's fit, you've got to start him because
He
I
just
can't
won't be
find
fit.
another option.
He's had a few matches where he's been out and he hasn't really played any minutes before that. So he's not exactly going to be 100%, is he? I mean, Godfrey's only apparently 70% according to Rafa. So what's Gbamin going to be? 40, 50? I don't know. You've got Tom Davies there. I feel like that's a more likely.
Yeah, I forgot about him. Well, there you go then. That's it, Tom Davis. But he doesn't offer anything for me. It'll be Tom, Decore, and Alan. Rondon, Iwobi, Townsend. I bet you that's a team. And then Dean, Mina, Keenan, Godfrey. That will be the team.
Well, the alternative is we stick with what we know and we play Gordon as one of the attacking four.
Okay.
But you just think Wan-Bissaka's going to have Gordon all day long with his reading of the defensive side of the game and his physicality and pace.
David, I know I said I wouldn't sound negative, but I don't think we've got a cat and hell's chance of getting anything tomorrow.
Well, when I went to this game 12 years ago, we had Tim Cahill, I think, playing on the left wing. It was an awkward team.
Was that the Fellaini one? And yeah, I think I know what
we
you're
didn't
talking
have anyone available, like a bit like this. We were a bit all over the place.
Well, you know what to bet now, then, don't you? 3-0.
Oh,
it's a shame, really, because I think we need to be getting.
Look, we can pick up a result here. I'm not saying we won't. We could surprise everyone. I wouldn't be surprised if we go there and we have the attacking play that we have had this season. And I wouldn't be surprised if we concede a few, but we might score a few. You know,
if we we're going there with a dog's dinner 11. Everyone's on the treatment table, and they've got Cristiano Ronaldo, Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Rashford, Sancho, and Greenwood. David, I mean, you'd kill for some of these players. Okay, Rashford's out.
Won't be ready.
I mean, that helps us a little bit, but not an awful lot. I'm sure Rafa's got a plan to disrupt them and hackle them. And see, if we go there and bottle it and capitulate, I'll be devastated. If we go there and give a decent account of ourselves, put the effort in, put the work rate in, don't concede cheap goals from set pieces, corners, penalties, free kicks, that sort of thing. If we get beat by a better side on the day that outplays us and we're fighting for it, then okay, I think we just accept it and we move on because we know we haven't got the players available. But I think if we go there and capitulate and concede soft, cheap goals, which I can see, Michael Keane making mistakes, losing Ronaldo, gaps opening all over the shops, midfield struggling to get to grips. It's going to be horrible, David, tomorrow. In hindsight, why have we bought tickets? It's going to be a painful. It's going to be painful, and we'll be out the ground. But let's try and stay positive because we're going. Do you want to give us a lowdown on Man United? Then how do you think they're going to set up? Do you think they're going to react to the Champions League because they weren't great against Villarreal, were they?
I didn't see them in midweek, but I heard they got a scrappy sort of finish and they managed to overturn the 1-0 deficit and win the game with the last kick with Ronaldo. And Ronaldo's he's feeding on scraps. Like he's scoring these tap-ins and he's just reading the game, getting in the right space, which I could see him doing
How do you stop
against
him?
us. Well, you've got to up your game. I mean, you'll naturally have to up the game. The whole defense will be a lot more alert. Don't leave massive gaps. I'm arguably more concerned about Bruno. Every time he plays against us, he
So
smacks
you've
one in from
identified it there.
distance.
Compact, compact, compact. And then in the midfield, stuff that midfield with 3 CDMs. Don't give Bruno Fernandes time. Maybe give Jean-Philippe Gamamin or Tom Davis just man mark him. Because you've got the other 2 in there, sitting there.
But you got Pogba in there. If you man mark one,
Pogba, he might not turn up on the day, Pogba. He's one of those. He's
he
either
might not. But
world-class or
I was
a
saying
dog
before,
spinner.
he's got 7 assists already. So
Okay.
he has been turning up this season. From what I've seen, he's been on quite good form. They all have, but they've been losing games, so they can't have been playing that well. They lost to Villa and they lost to West Ham.
At home?
Both at home. They haven't lost a game on the road for about, I'm guessing, but it's like 10 matches. It's like a ridiculous record.
Do you think it's nerves, the atmosphere, maybe with a full stadium? Do you think Everton should try and quieten the crowd quickly? Well, perhaps it would be worthwhile doing so and trying to anticipate that the crowd will be completely up for this game. Aston Villa, of course, beat Man United, and that was a surprise result, 1-0. So I can't see them losing 2 in a row. We're very close to wrapping up now. Hasn't been a long video. Dave, have you got any final comments just before I let you go?
I don't know whether it worries me that United have lost their last well, they won the game in midweek, but they weren't playing particularly well from what I read, and it's the fact they've lost the Premier League game and then the cup game. Will they feel the pressure that they have to win this game in the Premier League? And I think ultimately we go there with a small amount of hope and not a lot of chance. And if we can get out with a point, then I'll snap your hand off. And I think, but in all honesty, I think we go there level on points and one place between us, and we'll come out saying that is not a fair reflection on the
well, we lost 4-0.
Either it's not going to be a fair reflection of the league table, or it's going to prove that the top 4 are currently a level above.
Yeah, but you can't judge it when you haven't got the players. But then you have to ask questions as to why we haven't got the players available. That would be something that I'd really strongly question. Right, on that bombshell, I think that's actually sums it up quite well. You're going to say something?
No.
It's a fair assessment that you can't take much from this without the players, other than why have we got players available? After spending 500 million, what's going on? Unbelievable. And we lost their 4-0 in pre-season, remember? So
yeah, but we won't make those mistakes. Maguire's not playing.
Yeah, so we might make new mistakes.
Dean won't be marking Maguire from the set piece.
No, you hope not.
That's one thing.
That's a good point.
He might be taking Ronaldo instead.
Okay.
Hopefully he addresses that.
Right, guys, thank you for watching Follow Everton. If you haven't already subscribed, hit that subscribe button and make sure you like the video wherever you're watching. Myself and David are going the match tomorrow at Old Trafford for our sins. So we'll try and give you some post-match reaction from the ground. And also we'll be live on Upside Sports for a post-match interview at approximately 3 o'clock. So have a look at that. We'll provide some information in due course. Dave, I'll see you tomorrow. I think we should leave probably Liverpool. What time are you saying? 10:30?
Probably, yeah.
We don't know what we're doing, so wish us luck. Yeah. I'll have to contact Brent. Thank you. Take care, guys. Bye. Bye.